Hi guys, so my name is Allison Mee. I'm a junior at State High, and so today Rick and I will be talking about debating technological issues and kind of our whole thought process for the event and how we went about structuring it and creating our cases.
Yeah, so I'm Rick Bhattacharya. I'm also a junior, and basically we are going to be showing you our debating tech cases from 2 years back when we were freshmen. Yeah, so from 2018 to 2019. So I will get started with the rules. And so debating tech issues is pretty simple when it comes to actual rules. So I think the first thing you kind of need to know is the structure. And so for the event, you have two people. You have one person who's like the first speaker and one person who does the rebuttal. And so whenever we were debating with when Allison and I were debating, Allison was the first speaker and I did the rebuttals. And so basically, what happens is the person who's doing like the pro side, the first speaker, they speak first for 2 minutes. Then the opposing side, the cons, they speak for 2 minutes, and then there's a break for a minute. And then there is a cross examination where pro cross examines con, and basically all that means is they ask questions. They try to like find flaws in your case and try to just point that out to the judge. And just a note for that, is that whenever you're doing that, you should always address the judge, not the opponent, because we have a tendency to do that, but actually you're not supposed to be doing that. And then for the con does the same thing to pro, and then there's a break, and then there's a rebuttal where you kind of um, respond to their arguments and try to solidify your own argument. So basically, what happens is before every year, TSA puts out a topic, and so I think Allison will cover it for the year that we did it, but it was about social media. And basically, within those topics, there are three subtopics, and each subtopic is a little different. They're like in like different kind of areas, but they're all around like the same topic. And then you have to prepare pro and con sides for all of them, so you kind of have six cases total. And when you go there, they'll basically choose. I'm sure Alison will kind of talk more about that process, like after you actually create that case. And then when you're there, you'll basically, when you're also making your cases, you're also going to have like a sources sheet. So, um, and you turn that into the judge so that the judges know that like what sources are you bringing up, and yeah. And then at the debate, you kind of just debate, and then there's like a certain way that you'll be like set up, but the judge will kind of explain that to you, and then you have timing, and you kind of have to follow that timing, and you will get points taken off if you don't. If you like go over, so it's always better to kind of go under than to go over. And so and when basically when everything's finished, you also the judge will kind of do that, and yeah. So and at the end, you're basically once you're done with the debate, uh, you'll end, and then the judge will kind of they'll either give you feedback there, or when you're done, then you'll go through. And so for our events, we finished third at states, and then we qualified for nationals. And it's a little bit sometimes feels a little unfair because we only debated two times, and so like we knew that we like won both debates, but we didn't get to debate everybody. So it's a lot based on like what points that you get, and you can kind of see that there is like a special rubric that you have, and it's really based on that. But once you get to kind of so for these like lower levels, you debate less, but when you go to like higher levels, you will debate more. But then it's a little bit more fair when it comes to like you actually like beat the other team and advanced. But at the same time, it's a little bit harder because you have to debate so many times. So Allison, if you want to now start kind of going on to like our case, and I will share my screen for that.
All right, yeah, so like Rick said, we'll just be going over our cases really quick and kind of how we structured them. Yeah, so here is our Google Doc, which we laid out all our cases and the subtopics. So, like Rick mentioned, our topic was social media. And to provide a brief example, subtopic one was resolved social media companies are obligated to address the deliberate spread of misinformation, aka fake news. So, for every year that you compete in debating technological issues, there will be a different subtopic, and generally a different topic. So while we had social media and these specific subtopics, you guys might have a different subtopic and a different topic in general. So I know this year the topic is on providing internet access to rural areas. So definitely there's a lot of variation between the years, but generally they do tend to fall around that broad umbrella of tech. So I guess we can start with looking at kind of our cases and how we wrote them. So for subtopic 3, we can just go through our quick brainstorming process. So for this one, it's resolved social media companies must be held criminally liable for the legal activities that their users plan or execute on their platforms. So under this subtopic, Rick and I kind of did some brainstorming. We were like, okay, so what goes with this theme, this subtopic? What can we write that really correlates with this and could help us make a good argument on both the pro side, which means we do agree with the statement, or for con, which means we negate the statement, we don't agree with the statement that's being said. So we just found some sources online, some websites that we would later use for our general sources doc that you guys present to the judges on the day of the competition. And so here we would just, put down some brief thoughts like not signing the contract because it's not legally binding. And from there, Rick, if you could just scroll down a little bit. So for pro, we had just some statistics we found and then kind of laying it all together to create our case. And I guess one more thing to add is that while you guys can use flashcards, so you can write notes, you can take notes, you could even write your whole entire pro first speaker argument on that flashcard. It is good to try and I guess not really memorize, but kind of know your material really well so that when they do ask you questions during that cross examination, you feel very prepared and that you can definitely answer their questions with certainty. And then I guess lastly, we will just touch on the works cited. So you guys bring that to the competition as one of the first things you do. They'll ask to see it just to make sure you're getting those, credible sources and that kind of, retrospect. So yeah, that's pretty much it from me. I hope that was helpful to you guys, and if you have any questions at all, you can feel free to shoot either of us an email, and we would love to help. Yeah.
Yeah, and basically, just to add on to that, this event, you might hear debate, and it might seem a little up there, but it's actually really simple. You come up with a case, you argue your point. The judges, your competitors, they're all really kind, and it's a great time. I'd have to say this is one of my favorite events out there, and I really do hope that you will kind of give it a chance. And yeah.
Yeah, definitely. It is a very fun event, and we strongly encourage you guys to try it out.